The cast of the sublime period sitcom Blackadder has been very busy since the series' conclusion in 1989. Let us examine the careers of those iconic stars who sustained their success long after the show ended.
Believe me, eternity in the company of Beelzebub and all his hellish instruments of death will be a picnic compared to 5 minutes with me and this pencil.
Rowan Atkinson. He was of course the biggest star of Blackadder and played the smart, conniving, sarcastic Edmund Blackadder. Rowan had already made a name for himself prior to the sitcom, including the 3 series of the satirical comedy Not the 9 O'Clock News, but his groundbreaking career continued long afterwards. Blackadder may have cemented him as a comedy star in Britain, but in the early 1990s, Mr. Bean launched him as a global superstar. An unusual, mostly mute character with unique ways of navigating life, Mr. Bean ensured Rowan would become one of the world's most recognizable actors.
I was standing around with a group of guys and I could see this guy doing that. And he came up to me after a while and he said, "Excuse me, has anyone ever told you that you're the absolute spitting image of that Mr. Bean?"
Outside of Mr. Bean, Atkinson hilariously teamed with Angus Deaton to perform a number of entertaining stand-up shows, played an uptight constable in Ben Elton's sitcom The Thin Blue Line, and played an out-of-depth spy in the trilogy of Johnny English films. Further, Rowan has also cameoed in 2 Richard Curtis movies. In the summer of 2022, Rowan once again returned to our screens for a brand new sitcom, Man vs. Bee, which he co-created and acted the part of the main character Trevor Bingley. Its generally positive response has prompted a sequel, Man vs. Baby, to now go into production.
Baldrick, what have you done?
I've done C and D.
Right, let's have it then.
Right. Big blue wobbly thing that mermaids live in. C.
So Tony Robinson effortlessly played Blackadder's pathetic servant and sidekick, Baldrick. Audiences were drawn to Tony's hopelessly challenged character, and to date it's still Sir Tony's most famous acting gig. But a generation of now adults will have grown up watching Robinson star as the sheriff in Maid Marian and Her Merry Men, a children's sitcom that started in 1989, the same year that Blackadder Goes Forth concluded. However, perhaps more than acting, Sir Tony is now better known for presenting every one of the 286 episodes for Channel 4's long-running and highly successful archaeology program Time Team between 1994 and 2014. But after a long hiatus, Time Team returned as a YouTube series in 2022, and Tony delightfully returned to present specials in September 2023 and June 2024, with more episodes in the pipeline. But don't think Tony's given up acting, as he's had sporadic acting jobs in recent years, including the comedy Man Down and crime drama The Madame Blanc Mysteries. Fantastically, Tony even reprised his role as Baldrick for a 2023 comic relief TV short.
Once upon a time, there was a nice little fella and his name was Baldrick. And he lived in a house with a very nasty man called Edmund Blackadder.
Notably, Robin's also set to return to the trenches for the upcoming movie The Fallow Few, based on a true story on the Western Front in December 1916. In addition to his work on television and film, Sir Tony Robinson has been a campaigner for the British Labour Party, and was knighted in 2013 for his public and political service.
The charge before us is that the Flanders pigeon murderer did deliberately, callously, and with beastliness of forethought, murder a lovely, innocent pigeon!
Sir Stephen Fry, who exceptionally played Queen Elizabeth's loyal advisor Lord Melchett in Series 2, the overbearing Duke of Wellington in Series 3, and the bombastic General Melchett in Series 4, has been a prominent figure on British TV and film ever since. In the early 90s, Fry starred with best friend and fellow Cambridge University alumni Hugh Laurie in Jeeves and Wooster, based on characters created by his hero P.G. Woodhouse. Stephen and Hugh also co-wrote and starred in their very own sketch show, A Bit of Fry and Laurie. Stephen hasn't shied away from undertaking more serious acting roles too, such as a kind-hearted solicitor in Kingdom, a ruthless board member in The Morning Show, and an accomplished biochemist in The Dropout. Sir Stephen is also an accomplished presenter, hosting the acclaimed quiz panel show QI from 2003 to 2016, as well as 12 BAFTA awards and both the UK and Australian revival of the iconic quiz show
Jeopardy!
in 2024. A second series of the UK show is scheduled for later in 2025. On the silver screen, Fry has played numerous roles, including his heartfelt and moving portrayal of his idol Oscar Wilde in the 1997 film Wild. Stephen Fry is also a high-profile campaigner for LGBTQ rights and increased mental health awareness, with the latter supported by his presidency of Charity Mind. Stephen was finally given a knighthood in the 2025 New Year Honours for his work on mental health awareness and the environment, which he said made him startled and enchanted.
Smithy, you haven't seen any suspicious-looking characters hanging around, have you, who might be German spies?
9.
9?
Hugh Laurie was first in Blackadder 2 as the villainous Prince Ludwig, but he became a full-time cast member in Blackadder III, when he fantastically portrayed the bumbling fool, the Prince Regent, and then the naive Lieutenant George in Blackadder Goes Forth. As well as his aforementioned roles with Stephen Fry, Hugh Laurie has had tremendous success on both sides of the pond. His most prominent and certainly most lucrative role was as the stubborn and unorthodox Dr. Gregory House in the American medical drama House MD between 2004 and 2012. Not only was Hugh Hollywood's highest paid actor at the time, but he was justly awarded with 2 Golden Globes for his performances. More recently, Hugh Laurie played the calculating politician Tom James in the US comedy Veep, an insecure space cruise ship captain named Ryan Clark in Avenue 5, the formidable Richard Roper in The Night Manager, and World War I veteran Etienne LeBlanc in All the Light We Cannot See. Beyond acting and comedy, Laurie has also written a crime novel, The Gun Seller, and has his own jazz group, the Copper Bottom Band.
Oh, Edmund. Can it be true that I hold here in my mortal hand a nugget of purest green?
Tim McInnerny had a stop-and-start relationship with the Blackadder series. After the first 2 series as Lord Percy, he opted out of a main character role for Series 3, but returned as Captain Darling in the final series. After the period comedy finished though, he stayed busy ever since, including reuniting on screen with Hugh Laurie for the 101 Dalmatians movie, and then with Rowan Atkinson in Johnny English Reborn. In 1999, Tim starred with Hugh Grant in Notting Hill, again working with Blackadder writer Richard Curtis. McInnerny has also appeared for 5 episodes in the global phenomenon Game of Thrones. Tim's acting work rarely has him assume a lead role, but in 2024 alone he appeared in 2 movies and 2 TV series.
Edmund, I do love it when you get cross. Sometimes I think about having you executed just to see the expression on your face.
Miranda Richardson delightfully portrayed the unpredictable and childlike Queen Elizabeth I in Series 2 of Blackadder. She also made one-off appearances in the following 2 series. Following Blackadder fame, she's had a lot of high-profile acting gigs and her career has gone from strength to strength. She's acted in 2 Harry Potter films, the BAFTA-winning The Crying Game, Chicken Run, and Churchill, where she played Winston Churchill's wife, Clementine. Miranda's greatest achievement, however, is arguably her performance as Ingrid in the 1992 movie Damage, where she won a BAFTA and was nominated for an Oscar for Best Actress in a Supporting Role. 2 years later, she also received an Oscar nomination for Best Actress in a Leading Role in the movie Tom and Viv. As of now, her latest role is a return as Mrs. Tweedy in the 2023 sequel to Chicken Run, Dawn of the Nugget.
Flash by name, Flash by nature. Hooray!
Where have you been?
Where haven't I been? Woof!
Rik Mayall plays the outlandish Flashheart in Series 2 and Series 4. He's a British comedy legend who's better known for his work before and after Blackadder. He'd come to prominence in the early 80s in The Young Ones and the comic strip, and post-Blackadder, Rik reunited with best friend Adrian Edmondson for 18 episodes of the surreal and eccentric sitcom Bottom, as well as several humorous live shows. Mayall is also known for masterfully playing the corrupt, snobbish MP Alan Bastard between 87 and 94 in The New Statesman. In this political satire, Rik fiercely portrayed a self-serving politician who was completely void of all morals. Rik also dipped his feet into Hollywood when he played the unhinged imaginary friend in 1991's Drop Dead Fred. Despite his memorable performance, it unfortunately didn't launch him as a global star like it could have done. Rik Mayall continued to regularly appear on TV and film for mostly supporting roles, including in the sitcom Man Down, until his untimely death in 2014 at the young age of 56.
I'm an honest, hard-working lad, but poor, and I must support my father who is stark raving mad. Therefore I come to London to seek a servant's wage.
Gabrielle Glaister played Kate, otherwise known as Bob, in Series 2 and Series 4 of Blackadder, and even over 30 years later, strangers will call her Bob when she's going about her daily life, but she has done far more than star in Blackadder. Glaister's first extended acting job was between 1990 and 1997 as Patricia Farnham in Liverpool-based soap Brookside, and she later played 2 characters in the long-running British soap opera Coronation Street. What's more, she's played 7 characters in Doctors. In fact, Gabrielle has had a role in almost every British soap opera, including The Bill, Casualty and Emmerdale. Surprisingly, Gabrielle even reprised her role as Bob, aka Judge Roberts, in Ben Elton's recent sitcom Upstart Crow.
Ever since I first came to London as a young girl, I've known that it's a man's world, and to prosper, I must needs become one.
In 2024, Glaister continued acting with one-off characters in both Trigger Point and Death in Paradise. So which actor or character is your favourite from the entire Blackadder saga? What is your favourite role for the cast post Blackadder? Let us know in the comments, and please give this video a like. Also, you may want to watch our other videos, including the stories of each series of Blackadder, and the highest rated Blackadder episodes. Thanks for watching, and
Good luck, everyone.